don't know who they are, that means you're not on their radar screen. So many opportunities are coming, but they don't even think of you. In fact, at Pearl, at EDS, at Satyam, at PricewaterhouseCoopers, we had departments, I'm not talking about 1 or 2% shop, departments whose full-time job was to build relationship with the TPIs, TPAs, we call them, third-party advisors. That's what they are. TPI happens to be the 800-pound gorilla within the TPA business. They are the one who started that whole industry. Right? These guys, every quarter, they are giving away all this information. They are telling you, is Europe buying or Europe shrinking? Is US buying or US shrinking? Who in US is winning big contracts or small contracts? The TCV, total contract value, is now being slowed down, and they're going more towards ACV, which is annual contract value. So all of these things are important for our IT services business. In fact, I would recommend that IT service should maybe even consider that whenever the TPI, and I think TPI is one that does that, and then Monitor, I think, is the other one that does that. What's that? Everest does it too, right? And in fact, Peter Samuel Bender is a good friend of mine. Anytime you guys want to have a session with him or his team, I can arrange it even at his place, in his offices. We'll all go there, with a great introduction. Get on his radar screen. I'll be happy to help you network with him. Exactly. My job is to folks see you and open up my network. Right now, that's my phase I'm in my life. My network is your network. How can I help you? How can I help you grow? How can I help you succeed? How can I help you with Grand Slam? Really. So Peter Simon Bender, you can talk to him, and invite him or go to his place. And third-party advisor business, folks, you got to really, if you are serious about IT business and trying to grow it, you cannot do it without this. Recommendation for IT service alliances companies. This is I think my last slide or second last slide. We have evolved as IT resourcing and services business, right? I think every one of us. We can remain stuck in that, and we can look at our success based on number of headcounts we added, or number of zeros we added at the end of our revenue and profit. We can look at success of that. Or we can go for the larger opportunity that is out there. It's time to compete aggressively with confidence. Because the market is there for us. I do not know, and our brains are known well world over. Indian brains, logical brains, we are known well over. What over? Why are we afraid of taking the next big step? Right? Target expiring contracts that are best suited for you. Like I said, it's all fully available material. Take a collaborative approach. Don't try to do everything yourself. Those days are gone. When Ford Motor Company started their mass manufacturing, etc., they used to actually make their own steel. So they had their huge plant, so made everything from raw material all the way to the car, right? Back then, it made a lot of sense. Vertical integration made a lot of sense. That way they could plan on quality and everything else, and capacity and all. But today, it's not like that. Today, everybody has their core competency, so rather than us duplicating it, figure out a way to collaborate. Preparing talent. This is an area we need to spend a lot more time, us Indians. Not just technically, but language. The other day, I'm on the board of a couple of Silicon Valley companies. And I started this group. Maybe some of you got the invitation today. My Facebook account and LinkedIn account both spammed me. And you probably got spammed. If you did, I'm sorry, not my fault. Those guys did it. But there's a group that we created on LinkedIn called Mentor Rush. It's a community that we have created. And within that community, one of the things I came across is businesses in Bangalore who have done some fantastic product, software product. And they said, Raj, I'd like to discuss this with you. So I have had conference calls with them. They called up and they walked me through the entire product. And they talked about, this drop-down menu, this will allow you to do this, and they thought of every possible thing. Okay? It is it's a enterprise social networking tool. Okay. Now, enterprise social networking tool by itself, when you think of Facebook, etc., but it was really very, very powerful tool. It allows you to actually take the strategy of the organization and be able to connect it to every initiative in the company, every employee in the company. And these guys have done a great job. But the way they sold it, first of all, communication issue we had. Second of all, they were only talking about the bits and bytes. They were only talking about the screens and screenshots and the features of the product. Right? And the way I would license that thing and the way I would present it is that I asked them, I'll cut to the chase. I asked them at the end of the demo, who is your customer in an enterprise? They said, oh, MIS department, IT guys. I said, dude, are you missing the point here? If you are selling this to IT guy, first of all, IT guy is not interested in the strategy, which is what you're trying to connect the whole networking, idea generation around strategy, how we can achieve this, etc. They're not interested in that. Right? You're proud of your software, so you're thinking of IT guys. If I were to sell this thing, I would go to the CEO office. And my question to them would be, how can you run an organization without this? You know, how do you track your strategy? How do you track your goals? How do you ensure everybody is on board? How do you tap into the thinking power of the 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 employees that you have worldwide? This tool will do that for you. Right? But my whole messaging to them was how they get value out of this tool. But tool is the secondary. Right? I can easily sell that as a service. You know, I'm still giving them the product, but the way I'm pushing it, the way I'm marketing it, I'm going to get it X factor exponential pricing than just giving the software product out there. Right? So third point, not just technically, but language, culturally, and the whole business mindset. It is very, very critical. Establish appropriate incentives. You know what? You know, part of making money is the ability to give money back. People wonder why are people leaving. Well, if I'm going to be the 100% owner of the company and no incentive for people to stay on, they will jump on to the next one. So you all know that, so I'm not going to dwell on that. But we really have to have the right incentives for people to stay on, to reward them, to recognize them, to retain them. Taking a long-term view, not just short-term, and having a winning mindset. You know, this is a slide, I don't know whether you all have, I'll just take a couple of minutes and talk about this slide also. So we are moving away from the legacy data center proprietary environment to the cutting edge cloud, you know, mobility, etc. And the third one, end of the day, as IT company, our challenge is really not even IT. Our challenge is solution. We are addressing industry problem through IT. That's what we are doing. That is really where the biggest opportunity is. You go to the doctor's office, you know, a doctor's practice, and just tell them, I want to sell you a new server, or I want to sell you a new software. Doesn't turn them on. But you tell them that I'll help you save lives. Right? I'll help you reduce the downtime between your appointment. I'll help you reduce the number of cancellations. You know, so it's better use of your time. Now guess what? That's the industry solution. They are talking their business. So that means your IT solution should actually take those things in consideration as you are addressing it. So this is really where HPs and EDSs and pros, you know, spend a lot of their time on. I believe our mindset should be in that direction. We may not get there today, but when you get a chance to talk to a customer in a department of your customer, you know, if you're talking about purely resourcing and more people, etc., you know, they know that, okay, you're in here for yourself. You just want to handle more bodies. But if you're able to start talking about their industry and what their competitor is doing in their industry, and what some ideas that you have for them, you will not only gain their loyalty, you will gain their business. So these are the areas that I just wanted to talk about, which is this last box here. There was a theory that with moving to cloud computing, right, the number of data centers will shut down, the cost spent on IT buying new servers, etc., you know, will come down. But interesting thing that has happened is that the consumer's appetite and the corporation's appetite for computing has gone. There's more data being pumped out there today, right? So cloud has not really scaled things back. Cloud has only accelerated, more computing and more IT spending. So this kind of ties back to my point about emerging technologies, the shifts that are taking place in our IT space. Figure out what space you want to play in. And I know my sponsor here today is going to talk about web hosting. So you are already in a space that, again, hosting by itself is one piece of it, but how are we innovating hosting and things like that? I want to leave this with this one bullet, and I'm sorry, but I kind of enjoy, motivating people, motivating entrepreneurs. So there is no clear way of ending my presentation. I could talk for another half hour, an hour, right? But this is a slide that I put in there purposely to know, okay, Raj, you need to shut up now. You're given enough to chew on. But I want to leave on this point here. Our thoughts and our imagination are the only real limits to our possibilities. Right? So the key thing is to start thinking big, imagining out of your existing comfort zone, and finding new places, and you will accelerate as a business. Couple more slides, guys. A little bit about my companies. I do have a small management consulting firm. We do all kinds of stuff from helping basically businesses succeed through strategy development, accelerating the strategy development, IT services, etc. When to engage really anytime. I'm also an executive coach. So there are people, there's a Brazilian company that has hired me to just come and spend half a day with them. And the executives want to bounce things off of me, so I'm a sounding board with them. I speak on many topics, from success formula for strategy to IT to cloud computing. I've written some papers on that. Two areas that I'm personally very passionate about since I left the corporate world. One is one is health focused, and one is education focused. I'm on the board of both the organizations. Indians, as such, are the highest risk group when it comes to cardiovascular diseases. 1/3 of Indians actually have what we call feeder diseases into cardiovascular death, which is diabetes, hypertension, blood pressure, etc. All these things. So I got exposed to American Heart Association through Pro Systems. We donate a lot of money. I got a seat on the board. The more I did research, the more I realized that, my gosh, our community is the highest risk group, so I said I want to do something about it. So what am I doing? I'm just trying to raise awareness through sessions like this. I was in India. I spoke in Hyderabad at the Gandhi Medical College. I spoke over there. They invited me to speak on this topic. I did that. I just want to let you know, first of all, that folks, there are a lot of resources available to you free on the American Heart Association site, through which you can track your blood pressure to all other vitals. And there are some good techniques that are there. Please look at it for not just yourself, but for your loved ones. Secondly, as a community, get involved. Best way to get involved, nothing else, no money, forget it. Just come to the Heart Walk. We have a Heart Walk in September. In fact, I would request if you will consider this year, let's have an itserve team, all of us wearing itserve t-shirts, walking. That would be great. Money, that's well and good. If you don't raise money, that's okay. But as a group, let's just raise awareness within our membership, or family, etc. Pratham, you already know about Pratham. I think it's education, right? Videos. Now, I have an offer for you guys. We are launching a program called Pratham Champion. As a IT services company, I request each of you to become a Pratham Champion. And I also want to give you a simple story here. When I was at Satyam, we were competing with IBM and EDS and a couple of these other large companies for a fairly large contract. Customer came down to India for site visits. And, Infosys also was one of them. They went to Infosys and they said, my gosh, I'm in Disney World, the campus. How many of you have been to Infosys? It's like beautiful campus, right? So beautiful campus, wine them, dine them, etc. IBM, their brand name, and what their plans for India, etc. So they came to Hyderabad last. And I knew that there's no way we can win against IBM and Infosys and other companies. I requested the person who was planning this thing that ours is the last stop in the tour. And fortunately, he agreed to that. And the way we scheduled the tour, we did the same, come to our campus, meet our people, yada, yada, yada. And I could see the customers' body language. They say, oh yeah, we seem better. Team members, they challenge, okay, so is this the guy who will work on my project? And I'm saying, no, not necessarily, but this kind of guy. While Cognizant was saying, these people, they will be the one who will work on your project. How do you compete with that, right? So the last item we had on that agenda was the tour to what they call the Bairaju Foundation. I don't know how many of you know that, right? So we made sure that they had a tour to the Bairaju Foundation. And Bairaju Foundation has an outstanding work in regards to getting pure water to the villages, medical care to people in the villages, as well as 108 was launched at that time, the emergency thing. 911 service, exactly. So when they went through there, and that was the last stop on their visit, right? They gave us the business because we were a socially responsible company. And they wanted to be associated with not only a company that can do their work, but they wanted to be associated with a company that's also socially responsible and doing something for the community. And we want that business. Right? Why am I saying this to you folks? I really would request you, urge you to consider making Pratham your organization. And boldly say, we as a company support Pratham. Pratham is an organization where 92% of money is going right to the cause, right to the 100+ million children who don't have access to basic education. So I know I'm sounding like I'm marketing, I know I'm sounding like I'm selling, but guys, I am in the midst of that. When I was in India just now for 2 months, I visited 5 Pratham sites, from Odisha to Hyderabad to Jaipur to Nasik, and I saw those kids, and I said, you know what, I'm glad that it will make some difference there. So I request you to consider becoming a Pratham champion, and the offer is this. I request you to commit $1,000 as a company to Pratham, and you are invited to be on my table at the Pratham Gala, 2 seats per person. And I'd like to offer you one thing. You may find it of use, I may not find it of use. I want to make myself available to you for a lunch meeting where you want to sit down and discuss strategy about your company. I'll be happy to do it. Now, you may say, well, what is the value of it? Well, I'm charging some good money to the guy in Brazil for my time. I'm just offering that I'll be happy to come and, for an itserve company, have a lunch meeting with you, working lunch. That way, not taking away your time. And let's talk about your strategy. And I can give you an honest to goodness perspective and an honest to goodness view, as well as I'll try to see if I can give you some tools and templates to move forward. So I hope I didn't take you by surprise here, but part of my agenda wanted to make sure that you all are aware of this. I'll open up for questions now. I know you had some questions there, Mark. I'm sorry about that. I didn't stop the meeting at that time, but look at me. I was doing that long. So now